Today on the program, ASUU federal government to resolve disagreement over UTAS and IPPIS in 3 months. And later on the show, President Buhari gives 90-day ultimatum to produce flood prevention plan. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Olayinka Oyebile. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Let's begin with the troubled oil sector in Nigeria. There is anxiety and confusion in Lagos as queues resurfaced in filling stations across the metropolis this Tuesday morning. The long queues were also noticed along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Ikorodu Road, and Lagos Island, as well as other cities like Akure in Ondo State. Motorists queue for hours at filling stations in different parts of the city trying to buy fuel, with some spending as much as 6 hours or more. Spokesperson of the Independent Petroleum Marketers, IPMAN, Chinedu Okadike, blamed the lingering scarcity on delay in arrival of vessels due to flooding. Jide, this is incredible. This climate change, this flood issue.
I think that two things are mixed up here. Yeah. Scarcity in states like Nasarawa, North Central states, and Abuja. You can blame those ones on the flooding.
Okay.
Yeah.
But nobody, except someone who just wants to be hilarious, will blame what we are facing in Lagos on flooding. The tank farms are located here in Lagos. And they can, from here, lift your petrol, or the tank, the depot owners, they are all around Lagos. People go to them, they lift. Where along these Lagos roads have we found flood that is so bad that truckers cannot move around. So I think in the North Central, because Lokoja sits in the center of the country, it is difficult to access that Kotonkarfi Lokoja highway, because that whole area, the flood took over the roads on both sides, and so because of that,
I think we even have some visuals.
Yes, we have shown the visuals.
Truckers trying to navigate.
Yes, that road. So that has been the problem for some time, accounting for insufficient fuel in the Abuja area and the states around the federal capital. But in Lagos, IPMAN has already told us that there is product insufficiency due to delay in the arrival of product vessels bearing PMS coming from outside of our country, since we rely on importing, despite that we have refineries, they are not enough. What we have now, stock that we have now, is just not enough. NNPC over the years will lie to us that, oh, people are hoarding. They are practiced liars. They have PhD in lying. So no one should believe their story when they say, oh, we have enough stock to last 90 days. We have enough stock. In 2017, when we had a very serious, the most serious fuel scarcity in the history of this government, we had it in 2017. They were lying to us that it was due to hoarding until the Senate organized a town hall, a kind of hearing, public hearing. It was at the public hearing that marketers said, no,
there is not.
Check the record from so month to the time we are. Suppliers tapered down. Don't tell Nigerians lies. So I picked the lies. I picked the truth. That supply had actually tapered down. If supply tapered down, what do you expect?
To affect the solution.
Of course, we affect availability. They continue to lie until the Senate organized that public hearing. So they are people that I'm familiar with them in terms of their capacity to lie to our people. What we are facing now within the oil sector, we already know that it is due to this reduction in stock. Where you don't have enough because some vessels have delayed in arriving, what do you expect? But I know tomorrow somebody will say, no, some people are hoarding. The truth is you have sufficient products. You can't drink it now. Why are you even going to hoard it? If your
car
your
is
tank
filled
is
up
full everywhere,
and
how will you hoard? You can only hoard in a season of scarcity.
Yeah.
So they should find another lie to tell us. You can only hoard in a season of scarcity. When there is product sufficiency across board, nobody can lie, nobody can hoard. You must sell what you have. So this is the thing. And
Lagos is so peculiar in the sense that once there's this scarcity, once there's non-availability of this product, you start seeing traffic everywhere, you start seeing long queues. I'm sure from tomorrow morning now, some commuters, some motorists will get to the filling station 4 a.m., 3 a.m. They start even sleeping in the filling station.
It will
distort every other thing.
It has started. Because as I was driving here this afternoon, many filling stations are short. And if you say people are engaged in panic buying, why are those filling stations short? Because if they are stock, they will be opened. Unless they are telling us that those filling stations are hoarding and they don't want to sell, but the responsibility also falls with the NNPC or the PM, whatever they call them, to go around and monitor these filling stations that perhaps has the commodity and are short. So the truth of it is that, as they have already pointed out, it is only a commodity that is not available that you can hoard. If it is available everywhere, where will anybody want to hoard it? What the NNPC needs to do is to give us the actual reason of what is going on. Now you say that people are buying in panic and all that, but filling stations are not selling. Yes. I can't buy more than a full tank. If you want to buy for your generator at home, when you buy, you can have a farm tank in your house. So who is hoarding? And all these truths have always been told from time to time, that until we work towards having our own refineries working, and until we have been told the truth all the time, things will continue this way. Just yesterday morning, I drove easily into the filling station, I bought fuel. By the fall of the day, I was going home, and I saw queue everywhere. And I started asking myself, what's happening? What's happening? Even when you look at the media today, nobody can be able to tell you specifically what is the problem. It can't be flooding, as he has said. I mean, there's no flooding in Lagos. I mean, the roads are free. The roads are there. There's not. What we expected.
Another opportunity will open now to, people that, they contribute in making life difficult. Oh. Petrol attendants now, they will now become kings. So from tomorrow now, 250, 300 naira, people will stand in front of Ecological road, be selling even diluted, adulterated.
He's looking for a girlfriend, petrol attendant. Just to make one.
We are not just nice people.
The way it
they will make life difficult.
The way it is now, a lot of the stakeholders in that sector are not in agreement with the current price. Diesel, inflation, exchange rates have combined to make life difficult for everybody engaged in business in our country. And that sector too is not insulated. So what they do is, what is actually happening is that a lot of depot owners are not selling at the approved ex-depot price. When marketers come to them, independent marketers come to them to come and buy, they will sell to you at the official rate.
Yes.
so that government can easily trace them, but they will give you an account.
Of course.
Where you will go and pay the differentials. This is what is happening in the sector. They will give you that account where you will pay the differentials. Because as far as they are concerned, they have to also use generators to power their filling stations, and diesel is extremely costly. So when they complained the other day, you know, the prices were slightly adjusted.
Yes.
But up till now, they are still not happy. They expect the price to be higher than what it is now. And for some of them, they would rather not sell, so that in the night, some of them will sell like up to 9 p.m. when monitoring is difficult. So at that time, they can increase it. They can add like 10 naira on top.
They wake up 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to sell.
Now, the marketer that you have sold to at higher than the ex-depot price, how much do you expect him to sell to Nigerians?
By the time he gets to this.
By the time he gets to it, this is what is going on.
Olushola Julius is calling us from Ibadan.
Yes.
Thank you, Shola.
Good evening.
Good evening.
AY.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Uncle Yinka, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Now, this is another setback for us as a government and even as a country. For me, in my own personal opinion, all these things, I don't even expect them to be surfacing now that campaign for elections have started. For me, I want a smooth ride. Why? Because we want a better governance in 2023. So if things like this are rising up, you see, other political parties will be picking pebbles for them to be able to sit down and to be able to justify their own means. So for me, NMPC and the handlers of these things need to answer questions and tell us what is really happening. There are things that have been done in secrecy. Nigerians want to know. PKO, I love this your address. Maybe one of these days I'll come to take it. You are doing a very good job, all of you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shola.
Thank you.
The thing that I can pick up on what you're saying is NMPC needs to talk to Nigerians when we have this kind of problem. Show that you respect Nigerians. Show that I know that
you've hinted earlier. What we are going to hear is
they will lie.
The normal propaganda.
But let them tell us the truth.
We have 50 million liters.
Yes, and you and I know that it's a lie. So, because if you just keep the situation like that, you now say anything, it doesn't. It's not good.
With our former friend, our friend, and Egmo, he, I like.
No, but
I know, but I remember those days. It's always the common trend.
Yes.
NNPC, we have
enough. Even when they were look at the former minister of petroleum resources refusing to admit that they were paying subsidy. He was calling it all sorts of funny
names. All sorts of names. That's
product under recovery, all sorts of funny names.
We go to Sophie's.
Are we not talking about subsidy? Are we not talking about subsidy today? No.
All right, moving on now. Another extrajudicial killing is threatening the peace of Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. 2 siblings have reportedly been killed by soldiers for allegedly smuggling foreign rice at Owode Yewa local government area of the state, causing pandemonium. Angry youths took to the streets in protest, forcing the soldiers to flee the scene. Confirming the incident, the state police public relations officer, Abimbola Oyeyemi, said the angry mob attacked an innocent officer of the Nigerian Air Force, killing him in retaliation. Jungle justice everywhere. Judy, what's the story telling us?
The soldiers caused the death of 2 brothers. They arrested the older brother and impounded his vehicle that was used to smuggle foreign rice. Information got to his brother that the soldiers have held his elder brother. He raced to the scene, and they killed the 2 of them. Oh. They've told these people, I said, look, this kind of offense does not merit killing anyone, for God's sake.
It's not even...
Senator Fadamsi was in the custom. He rose to the top in customs for years. He told them, he said, once the product gets outside of the border and is in the metropolis, you don't have the right to impound the product. You don't have the right.
This is not even the call of the army.
Now, so we see every time, when you see this security men, is the money that they will make that drives them to go and stay. Because I don't see, it's the job of the customs that they have actually doing.
Stopping the job of
yes.
a military man.
And the reason they will not stay in that place to be picked up is because they knew they were on illegal debt.
Of course, of course.
You know, after all, we've seen soldiers accompanying and even vehicles being used to smuggle.
It was more, yeah.
They were accompanying to give that person the feeling that, look, nothing will happen to you. In this same country, you know, we've seen soldiers accompanying armed robbers to location of crime in this same country. Now you've taken 2 lives, and it has caused a problem in the area. The man told them, stop killing people. These communities, you don't have to kill their people because of smuggling. He said, yes, I was in the custom for years. That's not in the rule book. But they won't listen. Now you fled the scene. It's an innocent Air Force officer that paid with his life now.
Wow.
And this will lead to, even to more deaths. If I know Nigeria very well, it will lead to more deaths. You know? So it makes no sense. And if we say that our goal is to have rice sufficiency, and the CBN has spent so much money on borrowers and all that, giving loans to a lot of people who will not pay back and all that, why do we still have this problem? We should have a situation in which people would not even want to touch the foreign rice. If we have sufficiency, because the goal of the anchor borrowers program, and whatever name they call it, is to drive down the price. If you cannot, if you are CBN governor, you are boasting that you are doing anchor borrowers this, anchor borrowers that, and you can't drive down prices, then you have failed. Even your pet project, whatever name you choose to call it, has failed. If the goal of bringing down prices has not been achieved. We are told now that in Abuja, rice, a bag of local rice, because they told us don't eat foreign rice. Local rice is being sold at 45,000, 46,000 in some outlets in Abuja. Why won't people resort to smuggling? Because it's way cheaper. I mean, I just don't understand. It's way cheaper.
Because smuggling in that Idiroko, Badagry axis is just like something that happens every other day. They have their cartels, have their this thing, no matter how. The custom officials at that border have a lot to do. And as the former senior officer who is now a senator has said, if any smuggled good has passed the border, it shows that you have not done your job. You are not to do your job in the city. Yes.
And the truth of it also is that our security agencies, their heads, they need to educate these people very well. Now, I'm driving a car with an expired roadworthiness. What is the business of a policeman to stop me and say that he's going to impound my car? It is not the business of it. It is the FRSC or the VIO.
Did you not see a video of a last man that stopped a guy and said he looked like Yahoo?
I've seen that video.
I said, this is the season of audits.
I've seen
a last man official
Lagos State Transport Monitoring Agency
is now arresting someone
for
looking like a Yahoo boy.
Agencies that they are doing
can looking like a Yahoo boy even be an offense.
I mean,
how does that constitute traffic offense?
I mean, so
he has moved away from his own area of competence.
A military man,
he looks like a Yahoo boy.
A military man that should, if in fact those rice were smuggled, all the military officers need to do is to go to the nearest custom office and report and give the description that I saw this. That is why I will have a quarrel with you. I will go and bring a military officer to come and deal with you. I mean, so
Because they allow themselves to do
exactly, all these agencies, they need a new rule book.
Go to the barracks and go to military man,
exactly,
beat up people.
to teach them what exactly they need to do. Why will a military man, and now an innocent Air Force officer, and what will happen in that place now is, in that community, any uniformed person they see is endangered.
Or the uniform guys will mobilize and they will
go and do reprisal. So, I mean, lawlessness should not, they should not allow themselves to be used to do this kind of thing. What is the business of a military man with a smuggled right?
Smuggling.
It is not his business. He should go to Sambisa Forest and the rest of it and go and...
No, they don't, I mean, now, these are the kind of things that the era star called bad energy.
Exactly.
Energy that is not deployed
that is not
productively.
needed.
It's not your job. What are you doing there? It's not your job. Even if they get hold of you, now are you going to defend them?
Is he going to
the extent of killing that person?
Yes. Invariably now they will arrest them. They will arrest them. They will lose their formation.
No,
That's why they won't arrest them. Except if the army, I'm sure they will be arrested.
They should.
And they will become court-martialed. You lose your job. For nothing. For greed. Greed is that single... that's that singular vice that is bringing Nigeria down and pushing us further down. In every facet of our life, as a people, you just see greed. It's rearing its head. And turning otherwise noble individuals to animals. That is what we are seeing. A lot of our people cannot control their greed.
Because officially now, you see, military guys, they're not even meant to parade the streets without what they call their pass. They get passes from their, you know.
Those ones have been jettisoned long ago.
You now see them on Danfo, you see them on big trucks and
something they were allowed.
Even in Danfo now, a Danfo driver will prefer to have a military man in front so that I can oppress everybody or drive on... drive one way or drive on BRT lane. Yes. I mean, so...
Was it not a soldier that drove on BRT lane the other day and caused the death of innocent people?
Exactly. You know, one thing I believe in seriously is this. If their organs are very, very alert, if you decommission or 1, 2, 3, 4 people doing that, none of them will play with their jobs again. But because they get away with it, they do it, and a uniformed man will hit my car, come down from his car, and want to slap me. And you know, those things, those kind of in Senate climb, as we say, no military man has the power to assault a civilian when he's in uniform. Okay. You can report.
I have this call from Osumbo. Osumbo is calling us from Italy.
Yeah, good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Osumbo.
Yeah, well, I'm making my contribution, you know. The system of security in that our country, there's something to write home about. Because it's only my country, that Nigeria, if somebody is owing you debt, you have to call a military personnel to come out. Collect the money from your debtor. How can somebody, sometimes you will import products like cars or any other thing, after clearing, when you get to places like Okada Junction, they will meet custom officer.
Yes.
You will meet custom officer, and then custom officer will tell you the document you use the processing, the clearing the car is not complete. They will pound the car, they will drive the car back to Djibouti. Meaning those customs report, they don't know what they are doing. Is that what they are trying to tell us? Because anything that passes the border and is in the metropolis automatically is qualified to move. There's a situation whereby they failed at the border. Then what they now? It happens. They went to outside to the market to go and break foreign rights.
Yes.
Now, what is really going on in that our country?
Honestly,
I don't really know, because of this, we diaspora, we just forget so many things about our country. We are tired.
Well, it is well.
It is well.
Don't be tired.
It is well with your soul.
It is well.
Don't be tired.
Don't be tired.
Let us have
We'll take
it
this
together.
break. When we come back, we'll talk more.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I need a room to rent in your house.
Okay, where do you work?
I'm a nurse.
That means you won't owe me rent. Congratulations, young lady. You have yourself a house.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So, how much is the rent?
90,000 naira. Oh, but wait, where are you from?
I am from Akamata.
Akamata what? Akamata in my house? If you know how you got into my house, please get out right away. My spirit and that of Akamata people don't have anything to do together.
Sir, what have I done?
Your people from Akamata are known for bad things. That is what they represent, and you can't live in my house. Just get out right away.
What's going on?
Leave my house, young lady. Yes, our differences extend to our languages, culture, food, and even belief. But we are bound together by the cord of love. With one heart, with one voice, we will make Nigeria a hub of greatness, a place where the people live as one.
This message is brought to you from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the UK government.
I invite you to join me and my host, the Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Governor Hope Uzodimma, at this conference and the retreat for senior police officers.
Theme: the imperative of a Nigeria police strategic plan for peaceful elections.
The government of Imo State is pleased to host the conference and the retreat for senior police officers in Imo State.
Special guest of honor, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Special guest, all state governors, distinguished senators and honorable members, Minister of Police Affairs and other honorable ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, National Security Advisor, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs and Heads of Security Agencies, Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, Chairman and Presidential Candidate of all political parties and civil society organizations.
I welcome President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, the Inspector General of Police, senior police officers, and other special invited guests to Imo State.
Date: 31st October to 2nd November 2022. Venue: Landmark Event Center, Owerri, Imo State. Time: 10 a.m.
Join us.
The federal government, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announces the availability of COVID-19 and childhood vaccines nationwide. With the disturbing increase in reported cases of COVID-19 infections across Nigeria, protect yourself and loved ones from the harmful virus by getting vaccinated. Visit the nearest public or private health facility and mass vaccination sites today to receive the first, second, or booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are given to persons 18 years and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, while childhood vaccines are given to children from birth to 5 years for protection against polio, hepatitis, yellow fever, measles, meningitis, and other vaccines-preventable diseases. All vaccines are free, safe, and effective. For inquiries, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122.
This message is from NPHCDA in partnership with the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from MacArthur Foundation.
Thank you for staying with us. The ongoing discussion facilitated by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, to resolve the industrial dispute between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, shows that dialogue can solve any problem. The acting Accountant General of the Federation, Adolphus Agugu, was assured that issues surrounding the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System, IPPIS, and the University Tertiary and Accountability Solution, UTAS, will be resolved in 3 months. Agugu asked ASUU to forward the list of issues to be addressed in the system. Let's share the story by TVC News National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa with you.
This follow-up meeting is at the instance of Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila, and it is to set in motion the implementation of some of the issues agreed upon in a bid to ensure a smooth academic calendar across the nation's public universities.
Whilst IPPIS would remain the platform, the government would bring in the aspects and the areas that are specific under UTAS and specific to the universities and assimilate those areas into IPPIS.
The payment remains a key issue in the dispute between the university teachers and the government. The acting accountant general of the Federation assures ASUU that government is ready to accommodate its payment software, UTAS.
We sit down with ASUU, we look at what we have at the moment, so that we also have to continue to pay them, and then gradually, incrementally, we are accommodating some of those material peculiarities that ASUU is complaining about.
The union is skeptical about this, since government had reneged on its promise in 2014 on the same matter.
I thought that coming today, we really didn't reach a full understanding before we call out the strike, because we did that on trust. I think all of that issues that we were not really signed any documents that address all the issues.
The union insists issues leading to the just suspended strike are yet to be addressed, including the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement. Arguments are canvassed by the Speaker and the acting Accountant General, who promised to get the new proposal done in 3 months. The Speaker insists much has been achieved, especially with the inclusion of 470 billion naira in the 2023 appropriation bill for the revitalization of universities and salary increase.
If it works, you don't break it. If it doesn't work, then we can come back and sit down and figure out why it isn't working, and then another alternative way. So I think that should suffice for now.
The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is to formally request ASUU's nominees to kickstart the process of combining the IPs with UTAS. Joke Edsa, TVC News, Abuja.
Today, I must commend the Speaker of the House of Representatives. When democracy started, when we started this experiment since 1999, that office has always been immersed in controversy. See that certificate scandal today or graft tomorrow, impeachment and everything. In the last 3.5 years, could see stability and purpose-driven.
Purposeful leadership.
Yes, what Baja has just done again. Now, even after ASUU has called on the strike, is still seeing the thing off, that to make sure that this talk does not break down, to continue it, to make sure that the commitment of the federal government and everything. So the bringing together the UTAS and IPPIS, 3 months and everything, what would this do? From Bajaber first.
Yes, we have to commend the Speaker. ASUU decided to end the strike based largely on the intervention of the Speaker. It's not simply because of court action. Even NMA the other day disobeyed the court. The same industrial court told NMA to go back to work, and they refused. It was this same Speaker that then invited them and slaughtered the training fund. One of the key demands of the NMA is slaughtered it into the budget, and NMA, resident doctors, resident doctors decided to end the agitation at that point, and we had industrial harmony, industrial peace in that sector. It's the same thing that he has done. He sent for these people, and they tabled their demands. So one of the key demands is this IPPIS thing. We went to university. Some of us were privileged that during our time, white people were in our schools. Why should we just simply make everything turn upside down in this era? White people, they came from foreign lands on sabbatical in our schools. That is the system across the world. That's the system.
External examiners, visiting.
Everything cannot simply be inverted in our country. No, this is the system globally. The university system is accepted. That you will have lecturers on sabbatical pursuing research in other universities outside of the university that employ them. So we want to put an end to that in Nigeria because of
straight-jacketed
an IPPIS that can't stop people from stealing.
Stealing a monstrous amount of money.
Yes. So now they are saying, put this thing. Let us have a situation whereby people can go to other universities to help them deepen knowledge in that area. What is the essence of an academic who cannot contribute to the body of knowledge? I mean, that's a useless academic. My own one who is VC of Federal University of Lokoja, he's been to many universities across the world.
That's the beauty. Anytime I see a professor, I want to watch. I want to see your citation. I want to see where you visited. What
we have been to.
That's what it is made for.
That is how they are even judged. That's how they are judged.
Yes.
The research that you've done, places that you've been to, and all that. How many universities in Nigeria now have foreign lecturers, the way we used to have in those days?
I can't think of any.
If we put them
professors
today, thanks to this IPPIS thing, you cannot achieve that because it simply captures you as a staff of that university, and that's where it ends. Even a VC cannot employ a gardener. You can't employ a gardener. It's IPPIS, everything. You just module up the whole university
centralized system.
Yes, something that has been working. Our leaders today, they are products of public universities. Why are you trying to model everything up after benefiting from the university system? And a lot of them paid peanuts, almost nothing. If at my age, those ministers, a good number of them are older than me, if not 3/4 of them are older than me. Now, when I was in the University of Ilorin, I was paying 90 naira for a whole year for accommodation. 90 naira. Not 90,000, no, 90 naira. So we are products of public universities paying little or nothing. That's the same way our ministers. They pass through public universities the same way.
The ones that didn't go, they had a scholarship to go abroad.
They were even if they didn't do it, cancel feeding subsidies before I got into university. In those days, they were eating chicken
tickets
on Sunday,
meal tickets,
ice cream, and the rest of it.
You know what someone told me? He said what they used to do in those days, they would just gather some tickets. Because they used to serve them chicken, jollof rice, and all that. They will now use those tickets to buy extra this thing and organize party. They will bring people from outside. People have enjoyed this country before.
Of course.
The university system.
And the same people who now don't want.
The people who benefited from it now, they don't even want things to be easy for people anymore. What is wrong in integrating? You said it's not possible. These people made the demand. You said it's not possible. Now we are hearing that, okay, in 3 months, they can do it. How can you say it's not possible? It's about just slotting this thing in, just specific to the university system. It's a system that can work.
You allow them to use their own system.
Yes. Maybe you said they should go and design their own. You told them they designed their own, spent millions. Now you didn't want to accept their own.
In fact, the fact that they designed their own should also be something of pride that, okay, we have our people that can invent and design something that can work for them. They are not only theorists, they are practicals. They're giving you a practical thing that can work, but you want to turn it down and say no. And the system works in a way that...
I don't even blame them for turning it down. Because after ASUU came up with it, some unions within the university too came up with their own payment platform. I said, what's wrong with these people? You allow people in government to use you.
Infiltrate.
Yes. Given that others, non-academic staff also came up with their own, definitely it will not, they are not going to accept it. They now say, let's even use our own. It was very easy to say, okay, they dismiss that. If we accept that of ASUU, how about
the others?
So what is the...
And that one doesn't work that way because, look, academic staff, they have their own peculiar things and peculiar ways. Now, how many non-academic staff go on sabbatical? How many of them do research? How many of them can go and, despite all what we have today, you still have our academic lecturers that go abroad on sabbatical nowadays. They still go abroad. Even if those ones don't come, we have those who go from here to go and do their sabbatical there. So You want to close all that system? You want to close that opportunity? I mean, they should think of better ways to do things and not close the door to, knowledge. Because what we are doing now is making many of them to think that, okay, why do we even want to remain in this system? If the system cannot allow us to go, and they are beginning to...
We've lost quite a number.
Yes, a lot of them have moved. A lot of them have moved.
It's just a very toxic environment.
Despite all the complaints that we have, that Nigerian education has fallen, this, that, when our lecturers or even students go abroad, they do very well because they have labored under hard conditions, and when they get there, it becomes exactly.
Benga is calling us from Abuja.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Benga.
Good evening, Ayo. Good evening to your guest there.
Yeah.
My name is Benga from Abuja. I want to agree with Paula that ASUU resumed because of the intervention of the Honorable Speaker. Yes, he has done a good job. The ASUU were forced to resume. They went to the appeal courts. The appeal court told them that they should go back to class. There's no way they will have refused because they are the ones that seek for the appeal. Okay. And they said, before I hear you appeal, go back to class.
Okay.
And the president mentioned it on national TV that they went back to class because of the court ruling that they should go back. And that was the straw that made the back of the camel of ASUU. ASUU have been very arrogant. Even the president on national TV said that students should vote out the government and kill them at home. It was political.
Thank you, Benga.
That's one of the reasons why some cases.
Thank you, Benga.
It's political. The people that organized lecturers within the system who talk like this last caller now. When ASUU gets the benefits of this, they will all get it.
Are they going to turn it down?
People, I don't even understand Nigerian stuff.
See,
people, you signed an agreement with people. Government signed a memorandum of action. You refuse to implement it. They went on strike. You are now saying they are arrogant. How are they arrogant? The truth is, I asked a question. I wish it could stay on. Didn't the court order resident doctors to go to work? Did they go to work? Did they? Is it today? Okay. Now, federal government was told to release Have they released it? Was it not the same appeal court? Is it every judgment in our country that people obey? Even when they don't obey some of it, how many times do we see repercussions?
None. But,
they can even end the strike, go back, and not teach.
In fact, some of the universities...
That way they have obeyed the court order.
But they are not teaching.
But they refuse to... Yes. Because they don't want to... You know, the problem with some of this, they don't want to give Gbajabiamila credit. And whether you like it or not, you must give him credit. If he chose to intervene where others chose not to intervene, we will continue to give him credit. Every time he tries to do that, we will give him that credit. That is the problem with some of... These are our people. They don't want to give him credit.
Exactly.
They want to tell us it's the court. Court alone cannot bring about industrial harmony.
Some of the universities have not even announced days of resumption. And those that have announced...
Remember their visit to Mr. President?
Yes.
They went to go and
appeal to him that, look, this is, we are going to talk to. Yes. Now the president has, you know, there are hawks. I praise the president for one thing.
Yeah.
For refusing to listen to some of the hawks in administration and outside of it.
Yes.
By going ahead
to agree with
that 470 billion in budget.
Exactly.
300 billion out of it is for university revitalization of their infrastructure. 170 is for increase in their salary.
Yeah.
Those going around deceiving themselves that the strike has amounted to nothing, nothing has been achieved. If nothing was achieved, why did the president release that money?
Well, it's just because some people, as you said, don't want to give honor to whom honor is due. They think it is something else. And
he said it's the last straw that now today people, they refuse to obey court.
And finally, for the devastation already caused and the warning of more to come, Nigerians are filled with fear over ravaging floods. Worried by the devastating effect in the floods in the country, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Water Resources to coordinate with the Ministry of Environment and Transport, as well as government, towards developing a comprehensive plan of action for preventing flood disaster. According to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, in Abuja, the President said the plan should be presented to him in the next 90 days. I calculated the next 90 days we'll be ready to do the 2023 election. This government is always too slow when it comes to reacting to matter of national emergency. The next 90 days, did they calculate it from now? This is October, November, December. We're talking about election to submit a report to you. And they're telling us that, look, before the end of this year, we're still going to have this problem from the floods.
Well, to an extent, I don't see anything wrong in what the president has done. Government is a continuum. This comprehensive action plan is the sort of action plan that will help us address the problem of flooding in the next 10, 20 years, if it is well put together. So it's not, so the plan is not simply for today. It's a plan that you can use for the next decades. That's the sort of thing that I understand.
Like finishing the dam, the dam they are
yes,
building.
going to say, okay,
like,
the dams that can hold water, 8 dams and the rest of them, what do we do? Where do we situate them? How do we address, because this problem, the way it is now, if we do not find a way to respond rapidly to these emergencies when they happen, I believe that the plan that the president wants will detail how we can respond rapidly to this kind of emergency when it happens. It will detail where we should have those 8 dams that can help us retain water and all that. So I don't think his plan is simply for the moment, for this time. It is something that even the next administration will find useful. When Jonathan administration came up with his gas plan, it wasn't simply meant to address the problem of that time, but to address the recurrent gas shortage. So when you look at Lagos, the plan that Mobolaji Johnson came up with to have those primary, secondary and tertiary channels is what is helping Lagos today. So if they can come up with a very solid program of action to address this problem, even the next administration will enjoy it and will be able to at least find a way to address this problem. I want to believe that that's the sort of thing that the president
before now, we've not taken this serious. We just hear them allocating and collecting ecological funds, doing a lot of things, and now we are now facing the brunt.
I want to believe that the 90-day plan also includes the interim measure to take, so that before the 90-day mature, we have to do that. And the issue of ecological fund, you know that some governors have gone to, some former governors have been tried and some are still undergoing trial because of this. The system has been so bastardized that some governors have this ecological fund. Rather than face the issue of ecology, they use it for campaign, they use it for party running and all that, and that is where the problem lies. States that have those big problems are states where attention should be focused on. And we should not leave it to government alone. Agencies, non-governmental organizations, and the rest of them must always monitor this and make sure that all these things are captured in the budget and implemented to the last. You know, before now, especially in the Southeast, it has always been a problem, this problem of ecology, what do you call it? Erosion here today, this and that, but people, the government don't take it seriously. And the ecological fund is meant for this kind of problems to be solved. So now we need geographers, and all those people that are involved in ecology, the ecosystem. All of them, state government must constitute, states and local government must constitute some committee that will combine of these specialists that look, what do we need to do? We don't have to wait for this disaster to happen before we do it. Because, and most times you even go to some inner recesses, you see people building on drainages. Government should not wait for disasters to happen before they take their action. Because you don't wait. If you look at people's emotion, government will never work. Because government goes to a place, it says that people are built on drainage and they want to destroy. People will say, they want to destroy. Why will people build on drainage channels?
Okay. Do you know, on my own part, I'm looking at the short-term plan that we can rescue our people, that we can do something to those actually suffering that has been displaced right now. 34 out of 36 states affected now.
Yes,
the list is growing. Now they're telling us that Lagos State is going to be involved now.
Yes, that's what is even most frightening, because if Lagos gets affected, the way some people are predicted, we'll be in trouble. I don't think that Lagos can cope. I don't think that Lagos can cope with it. Where will people go? Because the states around Lagos do not have the capacity to even take the kind of,
not even the population of K2 alone can any state take.
We just have to 200,000 houses destroyed in our country in 1 year, 600 dead. That's even the figure from the humanitarian ministry. It's not just foreigners. And I know that it could be more than that, because in Jigawa alone, more than 200,000 people died in Jigawa alone. One state. Do we know how many people have died in Bayelsa? So it's a very big problem this year.
It is. It's very
I am frightened about the fact that the capacity to respond quickly and save lives when this thing happens is just not there. It's not enough for, okay, after this thing has happened, we start sharing beddings, we start sharing grains to people.
Grain of rice.
It's not enough.
No.
That's not enough, and you can't even reach many places.
A
lot of those people can't be reached.
Exactly.
The people deep in the hinterland, they can't be reached. How do you even go there? So we have to have a plan that will be useful at any time. Let's come up with a comprehensive plan that can respond adequately and rapidly whenever we face this kind of problem, because definitely this won't be the last. With global warming becoming such a problem, we know that
climate change is
in trouble. Climate change is now showing us that, look, we are in trouble. We are in trouble.
I want to thank you, Dr. Yinka Oyibile. Thank you for your contribution.
Thanks.
And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoju, thank you for your contribution. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. And don't forget to join us on Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday between 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We are on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubako. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. We all know the benefits that come from eating a healthy, balanced diet, but sometimes that's not always easy. Until now. ShopX TV is proud to introduce NutriBullet, the must-have kitchen item of the year. With NutriBullet, you can now easily get your daily recommended fruits and vegetables in a fast, simple, and convenient way. Not by eating them, but by drinking them. Here's how it works. First, add spinach for fiber, berries for antioxidants, and some banana for potassium. Add water and watch how the NutriBullet completely breaks everything down. Even almond nuts, cashew nuts, and tiger nuts have been completely broken down. The NutriBullet is not a blender. It's not a juicer. It's an extractor, a crusher. It's a grinder with a 600-watt motor combined with bullet cyclonic action that forces everything into its extractor blades, breaking down, pulverizing, and crushing stems, seeds, and skins, and releasing all the essential nutrients trapped inside. Tired of using blenders that are difficult to use and produce poor results? Yuck! Watch this as we compare a normal blender with the NutriBullet. The normal blender struggles to get through to the finer ingredients where all the nutrients are stored. But watch the NutriBullets just absolutely crush everything you put in. Stems, seeds, skins, nothing is spared. With its 600-watt motor blades and bullet cyclonic action, there's simply no contest. There's so much you can do with the NutriBullet. Want to make your favorite stew in record time? Watch as we pitch a normal blender against the NutriBullet. The NutriBullet simply annihilates everything with speed and ease.
The great thing about a NutriBullet is that it delivers to you every nutrient that your body needs.
I love the NutriBullet. I use it every day, and it's a great way to stay fit and healthy.
The global best-selling NutriBullet is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 120,000 naira for a blender that doesn't even break down and pulverize the stems, skins, and seeds. But call the number on your screen now and get the original NutriBullet for not 120,000 naira, but for just 41,000 naira. The original NutriBullet comes with a 600-watt motor base, available in white and grey. But that's not all. Why not upgrade your NutriBullet from 600 watts to 900 watts with ShopX TV's NutriBullet Pro, now available in white, gold, or grey for just 48,000 naira. And we're still not done. If you order now during this commercial, you can get two 600-watt NutriBullets for just 69,950 naira. But hurry, this exclusive ShopX TV offer is for a limited period only. So call now while stock lasts.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
It's been 3 decades of statehood in Yobe State, coupled with steady growth and development in all areas. A decade-long Boko Haram insurgency has also hampered the steady rise to greatness in the pride of the Sahel. But it's time for continuity, consolidation, and innovation in Yobe State. Watch as Governor Mai Malabuni builds on progress made by past administrations and breaks new grounds with fresh projects and programs on Impact Yobe. Impact Yobe on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. and Thursdays 12:30 p.m. on TVC News. Join us.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We begin in Lagos, where many commuters were stranded at various bus stops as few queues resurfaced in parts of the state. The queues comprising private and commercial vehicles filled few stations and spilling into main roads. In the meantime, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has appealed to Nigerians not to engage in panic buying of petrol, saying it has enough in stock. The Chief Executive Officer, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, said he had checked with the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria and Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on the level of fuel stock and confirmed they had sufficient stock. In the same vein, long queues of vehicles have resurfaced at a few stations in Akure, the Ondo State capital, as motorists embarked on panic buying. Now, some fuel stations are now selling petrol between 190 and 270 naira per litre. Ayodeji Morade reports.
Fuel scarcity became noticeable in Akure on Monday when motorists formed long queues at different filling stations. The situation has degenerated as most independent marketers do not have the product. This filling station along Oda Road in Akure is one of the few stations dispersing the product to buyers. This explains why the queue is long and motorists are struggling to get petrol. No cogent reason has been given for this latest scarcity, but many are lamenting over non-availability of the product.
Since 7 a.m. and this first scarcity of a thing just sudden, without notice, nobody know anything about this. We just face it suddenly. That they're supposed to be going to their working place now. They are at a fleet station right now.
The level of suffering being experienced by inhabitants of Akure is, in fact, it's so sardonic because I see no reason why the whole filling station in this Electoral decided to shut down. And it's not as if they are speculating perhaps there's going to be an increase in fuel. I wouldn't know.
The situation was the same at other filling stations as residents struggled to get the product. They urged the federal government to address the situation before it gets out of hand.
We want federal government to help us so that the fuel should be surplus again as before, so that people can go and easily to buy what they want to buy and go. Because now people are fighting for fuel now, there's no fuel anywhere.
As a matter of fact, I have some frozen item, fishes that cost over 100,000 that I procure inside my generator that because there's no fuel, there is no light. I had at Alagbaka GRO extension, I have to rush down since morning to start to be on queue.
There's no sign yet when this latest scarcity will be over, as petrol is now being sold between 190 and 270 naira per litre. Ayodeji Morade of TVC News, Akure.
And now to preparations towards the 2023 elections. Nigeria's election management body says it is reviewing the rules of engagement and codes of conduct for security agencies. INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu disclosed this at the opening of a two-day retreat for the House Committee on Army, Security Agencies and the Civil Society Community. National Assembly correspondent Jokia Adisa reports.
About 112 days to the conduct of the 2023 general election in Nigeria, and efforts have been intensified by all leading actors to ensure a itch-free exercise.
Talking of the role of security agencies.
One of such efforts is this two-day retreat to develop the capacity of security agencies, politicians, and the civil society community. The role of security agencies and inter-agency collaboration in the electoral process is up for discussion as representatives of all security